To those tuning in, welcome to the Diabuddy Dialogue, a podcast brought to you by the Diabetes Hope Foundation, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Committee. We're your hosts, Aastha,
Afreen
and Rav.
three Diabuddies who live with type 1 diabetes, or T1D, here to talk about the highs, lows, and everything in between.
Very briefly, Diabetes Hope Foundation is dedicated to empowering and supporting youth with diabetes as they transition from high school to post-secondary education and even beyond. This transition also coincides with the transition from pediatric care to adult care. DHF provides things like resources, education, and opportunities to ensure youth thrive in every aspect of their lives.
Recognizing how important a successful transition is for youth living with T1D, we have worked with diabetes healthcare practitioners across Canada to develop programs and encourage continued and successful diabetes management during a time of change and uncertainty.
Now, to get to know your host a little bit better, we're going to start with some introductions or some bios. So I'll start with myself. Hey everyone, I'm Afreen. I'm a public health student, a diabetes advocate, and someone who's been living with T1D for over 12 years now. I was diagnosed as a kid, like many others, and had to figure out how to balance T1D with everything else like school, mental health, relationships, and just life. I've worked with the Diabetes Hope Foundation for the last year. I've worked on projects like What's the Deal With, attended fun events, met new people. And one thing I keep seeing over and over again is how different our experiences with T1D can be, which is so exciting because for this podcast, we're going to bring in someone new every single time to share a different voice and a different angle for what their experience with T1D is.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rav, and I've been involved with DHF since 2013 and have worn many different hats with the organization. I'm the only person in my very big family with type 1, so it has been my mission to connect with as many folks living with diabetes as possible. A fun fact about me is that I'm going to celebrate my 28th diaversary this November. Personally, I'm very interested in the intersection between culture and health, and it took me a really long time to be okay with my diagnosis and what it means to have diabetes. And I'm happy to share this space with Afreen, Aastha, and now you to chat about different aspects of life with diabetes.
And I'm Aastha. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 5. And after receiving the DHF Hope Scholarship in 2019, I've been hoping, pun intended, to continue paying it forward. And through DHF, I've really connected with other diabetes, and that's our term for other people living with T1D. For example, Rav and Afreen are my diabetes. And the conversations we've had about our hopes, fears, and lessons just made me feel seen in a way that I hadn't before. And I think that's a big reason why we started this podcast, to keep those powerful conversations going. A bit about me: my background's in health research and digital innovation from McMaster University, and now I'm in med school at Queen's. So in many ways, T1D shapes both my personal and professional life.
To get into the groove of our podcast, we're going to do a quick rapid fire questionnaire regarding T1D, and feel free to answer the questions as we go. So let's get started.
Okay, all right, here we go. Everybody, what's your favorite low snack?
Indian We said
go ahead,
rapid.
Aastha.
Rapid, okay. I said Indian sweets, but I can't pick a particular one because I just love them all. And I think it's just so fun because I used to treat it with orange juice growing up, and I just love that there's different flavors. And I never know how to carb count it properly, so it's always an experiment. But yeah.
I respect that. I need to have like a cold orange juice and a really fun non-basic granola bar to keep things fun and spicy when my blood sugar comes back up.
My favorite low snack would have to just be a good old juice box. I really like the peach cocktail one from, I think it's Allen's. That's my favorite.
Okay, she dropped the rec. Take notes, everybody. All right, next question. What would your CGM, or continuous glucose monitor, say about you if it could talk?
Pick a new spot.
True.
Mine would say, like, does this girl even know what's going on?
Yeah, I definitely feel the confusion. I feel like mine would just be like, can you stop trying different things all the time? Like, have a routine? Because I just don't think I do, and my CGM is learning as I go as well.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, what has been your craziest T1D experience?
Mine isn't that crazy, but this memory is still stuck with me. But when I used to swim, there was a time where we were all pushing off the wall, and as my friend pushed off, she accidentally kicked off my pump. Which, like, we know that's not that big of a deal. Like, obviously, just put a new one on, but she was really afraid that she was like, she had killed me or something. So I thought that was pretty funny.
I love it. Like it's funny to you, and for your friend, it was probably like, oh my God, I've killed Afreen. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a hard question because it can be interpreted in so many ways. I feel like I'm thinking about the stigma that a lot of us probably face. And I remember I was at an airport in Jaipur, India, and I'm getting in line like with my trolley, and this random person comes up to me and like touches my CGM on my arm and starts like moving it around. And I was like, whoa, like what is happening? And he's like, is this a vaccine device? What is this? And just really like I appreciate the curiosity, but of course, I think everyone needs their space and needs to respect that sometimes you don't touch the devices on other people. It is okay to ask questions, I think. I'm open to answering them.
That's insane.
You're kinder than me because I would have had a full-on conundrum. Because I've had people touch my devices before. I'm also the person I think with a lot of crazy T1D experiences. But I'd have to say one that's kind of sweet, also pun intended, was I was at a friend's bachelorette and I was in a hot tub and I had my pump on me, which was my bad. Like I should not, like, don't wear your pump in a hot tub. Um, and my pump starts going off and it was a critical failure alert. And so I was like, oh man, like I need to like take off my pump, blah, blah, blah. But then I started hearing someone else's pump, what I assumed was a pump beeping because the beeps were familiar. And the girl across from me in like the bachelorette group also had T1D. And so we both looked at each other and we're like, oh my God, this is happening at the same time. This is so cool and so frightening. And then I looked at her, I'm like, do you have needles? Because I remembered I only had like my vials of insulin, but no backup pen or syringe. And she's like, I have the syringes. And I was like, perfect. So we were able to kind of help each other out like for the rest of the weekend.
That's like
That's pretty
crazy.
cool.
That's like the coolest experience ever.
Yeah. With the minus all the pump beeping and
Yeah,
yeah, minus all that. It was like a cinematic moment, you know?
the music was playing.
All right, next question. What's your biggest diabetes pet peeve? I know straight off the bat, mine is, should you be eating that? I will never take that comment lightly.
It's like, should you be eating? Can't
Exactly.
turn it back. Rav taught me that one. I feel like for me, the personal like pet peeve is the adhesive, like the tape on your skin after like a pump site or like a CGM, and the fact that like no matter how much I try to scrub it off, it's still like sticky there. And then
Yeah.
by the time it like rotates, it's like back to that arm or like that area of the body. And yeah, I wish there was a better way to get it off. I'm still finding my hack.
Yeah, you need nails for that.
No, I like go whenever I take like a my CGM off, I literally do this and like I have like moist hands, so it like creates a lot of friction where it's like and
It's
like it's
funny
also
because
itchy and it like scratches it at the same time and helps take the adhesive off.
the listeners have no idea what you're doing. All they're hearing is this. They do this.
The
Afreen's rubbing
listeners,
her arm.
I'm rubbing my arm aggressively.
Nice. Nice.
For me, I have many pet peeves, but the first one that comes to mind is when I will say like, hey, like I have diabetes or I have type 1 diabetes, and then they'll respond with, oh, which one is that? My such and such relative has it. They had whatever complication, and I'm like, we just met. why are you going into all that right away? Like, it's okay to just like pause, take it in, ask questions, but don't just like hit me with your family history. I don't know how to respond to that.
I'm sure you do. Rav has very witty comebacks.
It's true.
Okay, next question. A diabetes hack that you discovered. I feel like I kind of spoke into that a little bit in the last question. It's something you'd like to gift the listeners that you've been doing.
Mine is I actually saw this hack on social media first, but someone said if you're about to have like a really like fast acting sugar, like maybe like a soda or like a milkshake or something, and like you know you're gonna get it, take your insulin for it like 20 minutes in advance. Though, like just as a caution, I guess you can potentially go low from doing that, but I guess just keep an eye on it. But for me, it really helps because then my blood sugars stay stable, like they don't spike up and then come down, which is nice.
For me, I mean, I'm not sure it is a hack. I have very dry skin. Nothing likes to stick to my skin. So I have to use tattoo tape over my CGM. And then I put skin tack on the sides. That has been like the only thing to kind of secure my sensor in place for like the whole week. And it's pretty cost effective. You get a big thick roll from Amazon for like 15 bucks and it lasts you months. So if you have a tough time with any type of adhesive, the patches, the stickers, whatever, try tattoo tape.
And I feel like for me, I always struggled with when I was wearing like dresses or like a langa, like where to put my pump. Like I can't use the clip really, or I don't want to use the belt. And so I picked up this hack that was like to use biker shorts underneath, and they have a really long pocket. You can slip your pump in there, and then also like Dex tablets if you use that, or like sugar or whatever you need, and that way you can go kind of hands free and you just hold your phone, which I really like. So yeah, biker shorts with a pump is my hack.
You know what's like, I say funny, it might not be funny to the listeners, but like you like really helped me with that for my cousin's wedding last month because some of my outfits came back without pockets. And so like for whatever, like my big shredada pants, I was like, I need to wear biker shorts so I kind of access my pump and not have it in my bra. So
I love that.
that is a good tip.
It's
Um,
still awkward to get to it, and like I usually go to the bathroom because I don't want to just lift my entire thing up and get it. But you got to do what you got to do.
exactly. And our last question is, if you could have a diabetes superpower, what would it be?
I think for me, like freezing my blood sugar, that kind of sounds weird. I mean, like freezing what the level it's at. So if it's like 5.6 and I can see the arrow going down, like to just stop it there until I'm done what I need to do. Like if I'm in a meeting or if I'm like at the gym, I feel like that'd be so cool to just be able to control it that way.
Like stabilize it a little bit,
Yeah,
like
just
let it
that's the
plateau?
word, not freeze, stabilize.
I got you.
My superpower would be to automatically know what my blood sugar is, because clearly our body knows what our blood sugar is. Like that's like someone who doesn't have T1D, their body needs to know what the person's blood sugar is to give them X amount of insulin. So I wish my body would just tell me, like, hey, your blood sugar is this.
Oh my God, that would be like so helpful, especially during times where like you feel one way and then like you check your blood sugar and it's like something completely different and you're like, oh, I guess I'm not in tune with my body right now.
And then we
Yeah,
don't have to worry about the CGM and like the tape and everything. Not that and they're great devices, but
yeah, exactly.
For me, my diabetes superpower would be to have uninterrupted sleep at night. I am always waking up in the night, whether it's like a CGM alarm or my sensors updating or a low blood sugar or having to wake up to use the loo. Um, I just want to be able to like get an actual like 7, 8 hours of sleep at night. Because the older I get and the more I wake up in the night, the more cranky and discombobulated I am in the morning. And Afreen and Aastha can attest to that. So yeah, I would just like to have uninterrupted sleep.
and then like if you're with friends or like someone else, like they're also not going to be interrupted. But until then, Stay interrupting people.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like prove your love to me.
All right, well, that wraps up our rapid fire questions. Maybe you, the listeners, could reflect on these questions too, but I'm sure we'll continue to learn more about each other throughout the episodes to come. Though you did get to know a little bit more about your host and see what you're in for. Dun dun dun. Just kidding, you'll love us.
And whether you're newly diagnosed, a seasoned pro, or just curious about what life with T1D is like, we're so glad you're here. And we want this podcast to be your space for honest conversations, expert insights, and a few laughs along the way.
In each episode, we'll dive into the topics that really matter to our community. Everything from T1D in a fast paced work environment, its relationship with culture, and even maternal health. We'll be joined by guests who inspire us, challenge us, and help us feel a bit more connected.
So grab a juice box, get comfy, and let's chat. Diabuddy to Diabuddy. Whoever you are and wherever you're tuning in from, you've got a Diabuddy here.